I guess we're gonna see how badly I failed this time around, so get ready. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. After a very long break, I am sorry. I decided that December I just gave up with the world, and yeah, this is where I am in life. I have almost given up, but it's January, which means that we're getting back on track. We are going to do 2019, a year in review, and see like what happened, kind of. I'm very loosey-goosey right now, so I hope you're ready for a very non-structured video. So in 2019, I decided that I had some goals that were unobtainable, apparently. For my reading goals, I said that I wanted to read 50 books, and there were goals to hit within those 50 books. I had to read 10 physical books, so e-copy or actual physical paperback, whatever books, and then I had to read 10 indie authors, and 5 of those books must be in genres or some sort of thing that are out of the norm for me. So like I didn't read a whole lot of like biographies or nonfiction or romance novels, blah, 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 blah. This is the one that I probably completed the best. I read 54 books. I am so proud of myself. I believe I have said this before, but I am undiagnosed, but I am dyslexic. So reading is actually kind of a struggle for me, especially if I am not interested in it at all. Like, it's a struggle for me to read anyway, so if I'm not interested, like, why am I wasting my time trying to struggle through this anyway? So the fact that I was able to hit 54 books in a single year is such a big deal for me. I don't think that I've read 50 books in a single year ever in my almost 30 years of life. I've really taken this year to fall in love with reading again and enjoying books, and not to be all sappy and mushy, but like having this community here with me, like getting me hyped up for books and giving me a very broad perspective on what the reading process is like for everybody. It really has been a huge support network, even though like I've not interacted with like even half of you for, you know, a long time, because I'm sorry, I'm terrible. But like knowing that you guys are there is such a huge thing for me that I'm bumping up my goals for this year, but we'll get to that in a sec. So I did read 10 physical books. I hit that. I think I actually read more than that, but I can't remember at this moment, so I'm not gonna say how many books I did, but I know I did hit it. I did read many more than 5 books that are outside of my comfort zone. Ones that are off the top of my head, I read, I think, 3 romance novels. Who am I? But I read romance novels. I read a couple of thrillers, which I don't normally read, and I did read 2 biographies this year. So definitely hit those 5 things that are outside of my comfort zone, outside of the normal thing that I search for in my life. And I have started to become a fan of thrillers. Like, I'm shocked that I liked thrillers as much as I did. So yeah, there we are. And then the thing that I failed by a kind of long shot was my 10 indie authors. I believe I read 4 or 5, and I should have spent time to actually get the other ones in, but I just wasn't feeling it, especially after one of my lowest rated books of the year was an indie read, and I kind of feel bad but it really did put me off of trying to read indie books, just because it was not as polished as I had expected or wanted, so that sort of derailed me. But I digress. So all things considered, I feel like I did a really good job with this reading goal. It was definitely something that was a priority for me, and I definitely think that now that this feels like a habit, I can definitely hit my goals for this year. Next category was my writing goals, and this really sucked. The first thing that I was supposed to do was write the first draft, or finish the first draft of this novel that I was tentatively, and still am tentatively calling Silks and Furs. I know that title sucks ass, but working title. I stopped halfway through the year. I don't know how many pages it is, honestly. Actually, it's probably like 120 at this point, and I'm like, I know where it needs to go, and I know where I want it to go, but this is going to be a very long novel, and I need to cut some shit before I move on, and I just never went back to it. The other draft that I was supposed to finish was the second draft of a working title, Halfway Mirror, which I actually did accomplish. This was my NaNoWriMo novel, and I filled it out. I definitely went back and fixed a few things. I don't know if I exactly like it, but I fixed some of the problematic elements, and now it just sort of sucks still. So it's definitely still very rough. I need to like sort of cut and paste certain things together because I did not write that linearly for NaNoWriMo, but the second draft is technically done, and I'm rather proud that that happened. My next reading goal was to update my blog weekly. I haven't touched that in a year. I was gonna try to do like a schedule and make sure that I had things, you know, fluffed out and everything, but I was barely keeping up with my video schedule, and I don't know why, but the blog just disappeared. So yeah, I failed entirely with the blog. And then the last thing that I was supposed to complete was the outline and the first half of my second novel in a series that I am still trying to get published called Fires in the Night. I completed the outline, sort of, kind of, not really. I was very focused on trying to sell the first novel of this series, and I had a couple of snags as far as like getting accepted and then rejected and then accepted and rejected and then they're not accepted, but like I got a request and then it was rejected and got another request and it was rejected, and I was feeling a lot of feelings towards a lot of my drafts. So my writing goals for last year really sucked, but that being that, I still am pretty happy with what I've accomplished. I felt like my goal was to really just get some work done, and while I definitely got some work done, I also realized that I'm human, and I don't feel too bad about the fact that I let the blog just didn't happen. I'm feeling like I was trying to make myself busy with that, and it wasn't really something that was like a passion of mine or anything, so I will still have a blog up. I think that it's useful for me to have one, especially in sort of a professional sense, but it's not going to be a focus of mine going forward. And the last set of goals that I had was for my YouTube channel. One of the goals was to upload 1 to 2 videos weekly. I almost hit that, actually, all things considered. Of a 52-week year, I uploaded 49 videos. So, like, that's not even bad. Like, I appreciate it. And again, especially because like these last 3 weeks have been my personal vacation time, and I also took off a few weeks in October as well, so I'm pretty proud of that. Like it evened out. Another goal that I had was to have 500 subscribers by the time December hit around, and I'm at 264, so that definitely didn't happen. Honestly, even for those 264, I really have Read with Cindy to thank for that, because she gave me a shout out in April or May, because like it was in and around Asian Readathon, and suddenly there was so much more traffic on my site, or on my channel, on my page, on everything. I have to thank her for even 200 people subscribing to my channel. I did take a look at my year in review numbers, and like half y'all are lurking. So if you're here lurking, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, please, because like it just inflates my ego a little bit, and I need that to continue doing this. Stop being a creep. Just be a subscriber, then we can be friends. And the last thing that I wanted to do on this channel, which I definitely did not do, was post 1 review per month. Reviews take a long time for me, and it's not even that like I don't have opinions, it's that I have to then write them down and then try to portray them to you in a video. And apparently I just am very resistant to that, or maybe I'm just resistant to editing work, I don't know. That being said, 1 out of 3 of these I got. Really, what this ended up being is that I've learned that I can hit these goals if I really want to, and that's the problem, is that a lot of the times I just don't want to. And I should, and I will figure out why I don't want to, try to like balance my mental health a little bit more, balance my emotional states, and try not to cater to myself and my laziness, if you will, too much. Considering all the plans that I have for this upcoming year, I don't think I'll have the opportunity to. I'm fairly happy with the goals that I've set and what I did accomplish. And honestly, even the things that I didn't accomplish, I'm still okay with the fact that I didn't accomplish them, because truly they were not important. And even though I felt like I needed them at the time, I sort of just, I figured out that they weren't, like, straight up. They just weren't. I am a little bit upset that one of the more important goals for me was to upload one video per week for the entire year. And while the numbers added out, I know, like, in my mind that it wasn't 1 to 2 videos per week. It was like a lot of videos all at once, or one at a time, and then like nothing for a while, especially toward the end of the year when I was getting very tired and fatigued. Like, that's something that upsets me a little bit because I didn't quite make it. But I'm also choosing to forgive myself for it and do better in the future. So, that being said, we're just gonna wing these new goals this year. I've already decided that I'm going to read 65 books this year. I'm gonna push it over a little bit. I was gonna do 60 when I was declaring on Goodreads, and then my brain was like, you little coward, you can totally do 5 more. So we're doing 65. Again, I'm gonna try to hit 10 indie books this year. For whatever reason, 10 just seems like a really good number. Of those, I would also still like to do 10 physical books. I am going to be doing quite a lot of traveling and quite a lot of moving, so I'm going to try to not do my normal thing on planes, which is pass out and do nothing. I'm actually going to try to use that time that I'm sitting there, doing nothing, to actually read. Yeah, I think that's all. I think that with as many readathons as I participated in the last year, that hitting a broad goal, reading more broadly, isn't something that I need anymore. I think that I just sort of needed that last year to prove to myself that I could, and that it was okay, and that I was allowed to be a little bit slower with things that I wasn't, dying to read or anything. I think the other thing is that I want to read all of the books that I own currently right now at this moment. And what I mean by that is not all the junk that's on my ebook, but like that's on my shelf that's sitting over there, because between the Scribbler box and a couple of purchases / gifts that have been given to me over the last couple months, I now have a sizable collection, which I really need to, first off, get through. Second off, see if I could donate these books elsewhere if I didn't like them, because books are heavy and I move a lot. So I really should get through them and donate them, leave these books for somebody else to love and enjoy. For my writing, I want to finish up Furs and Silks, first draft. That is a priority for me. The second thing is work on a novel that I've been trying to sell, Sha'an and Serum, because at this point I'm a little confused with how I decided to draft this out and where it was going, and I definitely think I need a couple of, I don't even want to call them beta readers, but because I don't think it's in the beta stage, first readers to go through it all and see what is going on. So if you are available as a first reader for 300 and some odd pages of future fantasy, let's say, please hit me up in the comments below. It'll be great. This is gonna sound stupid because it's not like a real writing goal. I wanna have fun. I want to have fun with my writing, and that actually might just include me sitting down and letting myself write terrible, awful fan fiction that will never see the light of day. I am fan fiction trash. I don't post any of it, but at the same time, it's fun, and I'm allowing myself to write poorly, because not everything can be a masterpiece. Not everything should be, and I can sort of practice writing, if that makes sense. It's a space for me to just put words together that may or may not make sense, go back and see if they did. And again, no one has to see it, and it's not damaging any of the work that I'm serious about either. So I'm gonna write more fan fiction this year. And that's a very nebulous goal, but it's really to have fun and remember that writing is fun. It's not work. It's something that I love, and and need to remember that I love it and it's not this horrible task. I think that those are my reasonable writing goals for this year, all things considered. Channel goals. Still gonna do 1 to 2 videos weekly. I'm gonna try to do this more on a set schedule. Cheyenne is getting me to use like Google Calendar and organizing my life, which I'm so resistant to. I'm a cat. Structure, what is that? I don't do that thing. But it is helping me organize my life, and so I have to thank her for that. So yeah, I'm going to be doing 1 to 2 videos a week again, and like try to pre-record and like actually stick to 1 to 2 videos a week. I am also going to be dedicating 1 review a month. That is something that, again, I've found that I'm kind of resistant to, so I'm going to be trying to do that as a, you know, take your medicine and do the thing. 500 subscribers, 1 to 2 videos a week, 1 review a month. I think that's kind of where I'm at again. I'm also not going to include any of the live shows that I host on my channel as part of that 1 to 2 videos. I don't know, I feel like that's kind of a cop-out. So yeah, I guess that's it. Those are my goals for 2020. We're in 2020 already. Jeez. Yeah. Happy New Year, everybody. I hope you had a great holiday season and that the work week in January, the school weeks in January are not treating you too terribly thus far. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell down below if you haven't already, especially you lurkers. Like half of you that are watching this right now are lurkers. As ever, always is still on pre-sale at anywhere that you like to buy your books. And yeah, I guess I will see you in the next video. All right, bye.
She said it will never go away. I know there is nothing left to say. Can we try to hold on just for now, even if we don't know how to show them what we're all about?